Meri and Kody welcome their new child. The sister wives family is growing again. Hello friends, I am Elena. Welcome to my channel. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. The sister wives world has been defined by constant change, emotional revelations, and family evolution. But even after all the twists and turns, there are still moments that shock longtime fans of the Brown family. Today, one such announcement has sent waves of surprise and excitement across both the family itself and the devoted audience that has followed their journey for over a decade. Meri Brown and Kody Brown have welcomed a new child, and with this unexpected development, the sister wives family is growing again. This revelation is both a joyful celebration and a deeply complex turning point for Meri and Kody, whose relationship has been marked by long-standing distance, tension, and painful separation in recent years. Their marriage, once the first and foundational bond of Kody's plural household, had dwindled into a quiet companionship, with both parties admitting they had drifted apart. Many believed their story together had already reached its conclusion. That's why news of them welcoming a child has come as such an extraordinary surprise. It represents not only a new life but a renewed connection between two people who had, for so long, seemed irreparably divided. For Meri, this child symbolizes hope, renewal, and healing. Her journey throughout Sister Wives has often been marked by loneliness and struggles with her identity within a plural marriage that repeatedly shifted away from her. She was the first wife, but her role became complicated as Kody's bond with his other wives, particularly Robin, took precedence. Viewers have watched Meri battle with isolation, yearning for both love and a sense of belonging. The arrival of this new child suggests that Meri has found not only a new chapter in her personal journey but also a chance to redefine her relationship with Kody in a more meaningful way. For Kody, welcoming a new child at this stage in his life is both unexpected and transformative. After years of tension with Meri, Christine, and Janelle, he had been widely seen as a husband who narrowed his focus to one relationship: his marriage to Robin. Yet, the arrival of this baby demonstrates that Kody is still capable of opening his heart to possibilities outside of the narrow paths he had been walking in recent seasons. It shows that his story with Meri is not over, and that family expansion remains a cornerstone of his identity, even as his public image has shifted. The rest of the Brown family is also deeply impacted by this development. For years, the sister wives family has faced division and fracture, with children openly expressing their disillusionment with plural marriage, and with the wives themselves often moving away from the polygamous lifestyle. Now, the birth of a new child brings a reason for everyone to unite, even if just temporarily. Babies have a way of softening hearts and creating bridges where walls once stood. The Brown family has always emphasized the importance of children, love, and growth, and this new addition will inevitably spark conversations about forgiveness, reconciliation, and the deeper meaning of family bonds. Fans of the show have been quick to react with a mixture of astonishment and cautious optimism. Many had long assumed that Meri's story would remain one of heartbreak and quiet independence after her separation from Kody became increasingly evident. Yet, the arrival of a child has completely reshaped that narrative, proving that Meri's journey is still unfolding in ways no one could have predicted. Supporters of Meri have expressed joy at the thought of her stepping into motherhood once again, but this time with the strength and wisdom gained from years of struggle. Of course, there are lingering questions that come with such a dramatic revelation. How will Robin, Janelle, and Christine respond? Robin, who has long been seen as Kody's closest companion, may feel a shift in her relationship dynamics as Meri reclaims a new role beside Kody through this child. Janelle and Christine, both of whom have openly distanced themselves from Kody, may find themselves pulled back into the orbit of family unity for the sake of the new baby. Even if they remain outside of Kody's personal world, their ties to Meri and to the larger Brown family may encourage them to be supportive of this new life. Another layer of complexity lies in how the older Brown children will react. Many of them have been vocal about the difficulties they experienced growing up in a plural household, and several have openly criticized their father's choices. Yet new siblings often create unexpected joy, and it is possible that this child will provide a chance for older siblings to step in, nurture, and bond in ways that heal old wounds. A baby represents innocence, love, and potential qualities that can transcend even the most fractured family structures. On a symbolic level, Meri and Kody's new child marks a rebirth of sorts for the sister-wives story itself. For years, the show has centered on unraveling relationships, disillusionment with polygamy, and the painful reality of distance within a family once built on the promise of unity. This new edition flips the narrative back toward growth, creation, and renewal. Gives fans something to root for, something to celebrate, and something that ties the family together beyond the drama that has consumed much of their story. It is also worth considering how this development will impact the future of the series. Sister Wives has always been at its strongest when it showcases the deeply personal, emotional aspects of family life. A newborn child within the household is bound to reignite viewer interest and provide a natural storyline for the show's ongoing evolution. Watching Meri embrace motherhood once more, and seeing Kody adjust to this new role alongside her, will inevitably become a focal point of the upcoming chapters. Beyond the cameras, though, this is a deeply human moment. For Meri, it is proof that life does not stop after heartbreak. For Kody, it is a reminder that fatherhood continues to define him, no matter how complicated his relationships with his wives may become. For the larger Brown family, it is an opportunity to rally around something that transcends disagreements and frustrations: the birth of a child. As news spreads, one thing becomes clear: no matter what the future holds for Sister Wives, the addition of this child will leave a lasting mark on the Brown family's legacy. It is a reminder that family stories are never finished, that even after years of distance and discord, love can find its way back in unexpected forms. In the end, Meri and Kody's new child represents more than just another Brown baby. It symbolizes the possibility of healing, the resilience of family ties, and the enduring truth that life continues to unfold in ways no one can predict. The Sister Wives family is growing again, and with that growth comes a renewed sense of hope, not just for Meri and Kody, but for everyone who has ever believed in the power of second chances. For years, the reality television series Sister Wives has been a lightning rod for controversy, intrigue, and curiosity. The Brown family's decision to openly share their plural marriage with the world through television set them apart as cultural figures who challenge the norms of mainstream America. While the show has provided audiences with insight into their family dynamics, it has also placed them in a storm of scrutiny, criticism, and at times harsh judgment. Recently, one of the stars of Sister Wives has spoken out, breaking their silence on the overwhelming public backlash and stating clearly that they are tired of it. This raw honesty has shed light on the emotional toll reality television and public opinion can have on an individual's life. When Sister Wives premiered, it attracted viewers who were fascinated with the idea of plural marriage. Some tuned in to learn, others to critique, and many to simply observe the complexities of multiple wives navigating relationships with the same husband. What the family did not anticipate was the sheer volume of commentary that would follow them online, in media outlets, and even in their day-to-day lives. Constant evaluation of their choices created a world where every action was dissected. Over the years, the stars of the show have experienced both support and hostility, but it is the hostility that has been the hardest to manage. The star in question expressed deep frustration with how strangers feel entitled to attack their personal life simply because it has been broadcast on television. Their message was clear: while they agreed to open the door into their family dynamic, they did not sign up to become a punching bag for the internet's harshest critics. Reality television may showcase certain aspects of a person's journey, but it does not tell the entire story. The backlash, however, has not always made that distinction. Instead, viewers often make sweeping judgments based on edited episodes, assuming they know everything about the family and their intentions. This Sister Wives star admitted that the pressure of always being under the microscope has become exhausting. Imagine waking up each day to a flood of online comments questioning your worth as a spouse, parent, or individual. Imagine navigating complex family situations while knowing millions of people are waiting to weigh in with opinions, memes, and criticism. While fame has its perks, it also comes with invisible burdens that weigh heavily over time. The star revealed that they often try to ignore negativity but eventually reach a breaking point where they feel compelled to speak up. Public backlash has also been deeply personal. It isn't just about disagreements over lifestyle choices. It often crosses boundaries into judgment about appearance, personality, and intentions. For instance, if the star shows vulnerability, some accuse them of manipulation. If they assert boundaries, others label them selfish. There seems to be no winning formula when you are living your life on a stage where every move is met with disapproval from at least one corner of the internet. This constant cycle of judgment has understandably led to fatigue. The star's statement, "tired of it," is more than just a complaint. It is a declaration of emotional exhaustion. It acknowledges that human beings are not built to endure constant waves of criticism without consequences. While television presents them as characters, these individuals are real people with real feelings. The backlash does not disappear once filming stops. It lingers in the form of online comments, media articles, and whispers in public spaces. For a family that once hoped to promote understanding, the backlash has at times overshadowed their original intentions. Interestingly, the backlash has not only come from strangers but also from fans who once claimed to support the family. Some viewers express disappointment when a star makes decisions that don't align with their expectations, forgetting that the family members do not exist to fulfill a fantasy storyline. They are individuals evolving in real time. Relationships change, marriages face struggles, and family members take new paths. Yet, when the Browns make choices that diverge from what the audience envisioned, they are met with accusations of betrayal or hypocrisy. This creates a no-win situation for the stars. Breaking silence on the matter also highlighted the impact on mental health. The star explained that constantly battling criticism leads to self-doubt and second-guessing. Instead of focusing solely on personal growth and family, they find themselves worrying about how decisions will be perceived by outsiders. This level of pressure can strain relationships within the family as well. When one spouse faces backlash, it often affects the others, creating tension that wouldn't exist if the spotlight weren't so intense. Despite the fatigue, the star also acknowledged a determination to continue living authentically. They recognize that while backlash is draining, silence can feel like surrender. By speaking out, they reclaimed control over their narrative. They wanted to remind the public that reality stars are not immune to pain, that behind the television cameras are human beings grappling with complex emotions and choices. Their honesty struck a chord with many who also feel tired of being misunderstood in their own lives. The broader lesson from this moment is about compassion. Reality television has blurred the line between entertainment and personal lives. Audiences forget that they are not just critiquing characters but real people. The backlash may provide temporary amusement for some, but it can cause long-lasting wounds for the people at the center of it. The Sister Wives star's decision to speak up should be a reminder that we owe each other empathy, even when we disagree with someone's lifestyle or choices. The statement also raises questions about the future of Sister Wives. As the stars continue to confront public backlash, some may wonder how long they can sustain the pressures of reality television. Will the fatigue lead to more departures from the show? Will the family retreat further from public life? Or will they use moments like this as opportunities to reshape the narrative and push back against negativity? Only time will tell, but what is clear is that the toll of backlash cannot be ignored. In closing, the stars' declaration of being tired of it is not just about defending themselves. It is a reflection of the broader challenges faced by anyone living under public scrutiny. It shines a light on the gap between what viewers see on screen and what stars endure behind the scenes. For the Brown family, the choice to live openly has come with rewards and consequences, but their humanity remains constant. The hope is that by speaking out, the star has not only unburdened themselves but also sparked a conversation about how we treat people in the spotlight. Reality television will continue to draw audiences, but perhaps moments like this can remind us all that kindness costs nothing and judgment weighs heavily. Behind every headline, every edited episode, and every social media comment is a person who deserves respect. And as this Sister Wives star made clear, they are more than ready to draw the line. They are tired of it. The Sister Wives community has never been shy when it comes to sharing opinions, but the latest controversy has struck a nerve that few could have anticipated. When news broke that Kody Brown and Robin Brown reportedly turned what was supposed to be a solemn trip to bury their late son Garrison's ashes into what appeared to be a family vacation, the backlash was immediate and heated. Fans flooded social media with criticism, accusing the couple of being tone-deaf, disrespectful, and more concerned with appearances than genuine grief. Garrison Brown's passing was one of the most tragic and heartbreaking moments the Sister Wives family has faced. Viewers who have followed the show for years know that Garrison was more than just a name in the Brown household. He was a beloved son, a loyal brother, and someone who struggled with difficult emotions after years of tension within the family dynamic. His untimely death left fans in mourning right alongside the family, who had already been dealing with divisions, estrangement, and the fallout from years of strained relationships. So, when it came time to lay Garrison's ashes to rest, many believed it would be handled with a degree of respect, solemnity, and unity. What fans did not expect, however, was that the trip would be painted, at least by Kody and Robin, as something akin to a family getaway. Pictures, social media posts, and accounts from those close to the situation suggested that the trip involved not just grief and memorials but also leisure activities, sightseeing, and moments framed as if they were part of a light-hearted vacation. This tone shocked many longtime fans. Turning your child's final resting ceremony into a fun outing is absolutely beyond words, one fan wrote online. Another said, "Grief is not a vacation. The whole thing feels staged, like Kody and Robin wanted to make it about themselves instead of Garrison." Comments like these poured in, painting a clear picture of just how offended viewers felt by the juxtaposition of tragedy and leisure. For some, the issue was not simply that the family traveled to bury the ashes. After all, families often travel for memorials and ceremonies, especially if the deceased had a special connection to a particular place. The real problem, critics argued, was the way Kody and Robin allegedly framed the trip. Rather than allowing it to stand as a raw, emotional moment of closure, it was presented with a glossy finish, as if it were content for social media or a storyline designed to keep sister wives moving forward. The accusations of disrespect hit harder because Garrison's relationship with Kody had been publicly strained for years. Fans of the show remember the countless episodes in which Garrison expressed frustration with his father's behavior, particularly when it came to the family's fractured unity during the pandemic. At one point, Garrison openly confronted Kody, saying that he felt abandoned and unimportant. Those words, replayed countless times by fans, now hang heavily in light of the current controversy. To many, the idea that Kody could now use his son's ashes as part of what looked like a family trip is almost unforgivable. Robin, too, has found herself in the middle of the backlash. While some argue that she should not be blamed for Kody's choices, others feel that she has consistently enabled behavior that sidelines the other wives and their children. In this case, critics suggest that Robin played a role in shaping the narrative around the trip, framing it in a way that seemed more like a bonding excursion for her immediate family rather than a solemn event for the whole Brown clan. On fan forums and social media platforms, phrases like disrespectful, shameful, and tone-deaf dominate discussions about the incident. Some even went as far as to suggest that the move confirmed what they had long suspected, that Kody and Robin are more invested in appearances and the Sister Wives brand than they are in truly honoring their children. One fan bluntly wrote, "If Garrison could see this, he would be heartbroken. He deserved better than to have his ashes treated like a vacation accessory." Controversy has also reignited old debates about favoritism within the Brown household. Fans have pointed out that Kody's behavior toward his children from his other marriages, especially Janelle's kids including Garrison, has been noticeably different from his treatment of Robin's children. Some believe this trip exposed that favoritism once again, as it seemed more like a bonding moment for Robin's family than a collective remembrance of Garrison's life. Another layer of criticism comes from the way grief itself is being displayed. Grieving is deeply personal, and no one expects families to mourn in the same way. However, when a public family chooses to broadcast aspects of their grief, or in this case their memorial trip, they open themselves up to scrutiny. Many Sister Wives fans are arguing that Kody and Robin had a responsibility to handle the matter with dignity, especially given the public platform. "You don't have to show us everything," one fan noted. But if you do, at least show us respect for the person you're supposed to be honoring. What makes the backlash even more striking is how unified the fanbase appears to be. Usually, debates about the Brown family are divisive, with some supporting Kody and Robyn while others take the side of Meri, Janelle, or Christine. This time, however, there seems to be a rare consensus. Fans across the board are calling out Kody and Robyn, leaving little room for defenders. Controversy also raises questions about the future of sister wives. With such a sensitive topic now tied to accusations of exploitation, viewers are wondering whether the show has crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed. Some are even calling for the series to end, arguing that continuing to film under these circumstances feels exploitative to Garrison's memory. The show should have ended after Garrison passed, one commenter wrote. Now it just feels gross, like they're milking tragedy for ratings. Amid the criticism, there has been little public response from Kody or Robyn. Their silence is being interpreted in different ways. Some see it as a sign that they recognize the backlash and are choosing not to escalate it, while others believe it demonstrates a lack of accountability. Silence doesn't fix this, one fan argued. If anything, it makes it worse because it shows they don't care what people think. Ultimately, this controversy is about more than just one trip. It's about years of broken trust between Kody and his children, years of viewers feeling that certain family members were sidelined, and years of resentment over how grief and family have been portrayed on the show. For fans, the idea that a child's ashes could be part of a family vacation is not just offensive, it's the final straw. In the end, the Brown family will continue to grieve in their own way, but the public perception of Kody and Robyn has once again taken a major hit. Whether they acknowledge the criticism or not, the damage to their reputation within the sister wives community is undeniable. For many fans, this latest move will be remembered not as a touching farewell to Garrison but as a painful example of how far the family has drifted from authenticity and respect. The reality television world was shaken when news broke that Sister Wives star Kody Brown's son, Garrison Brown, tragically passed away. Since then, fans of the long-running TLC series have been watching with heavy hearts as the Brown family navigates unthinkable grief. Now, Kody himself is opening up in a rare and raw admission, confessing that he was not able to make things right with his son before his death. His words have sparked both sympathy and criticism as the story unfolds, leaving fans debating the complicated family dynamics that have been on display for over a decade. Kody Brown's polygamous family was once portrayed as a united household determined to show viewers that plural marriage could work. Over the years, however, cracks in the foundation of that unity became more and more visible. The breakdown of his marriages with Christine, Janelle, and Meri highlighted the struggles that came with trying to balance multiple relationships, conflicting priorities, and individual desires for independence. The heart of these struggles were the children, who often expressed frustration or sadness over how Kody chose to prioritize his time and affection. Garrison Brown, the son of Kody and Janelle, was one of those children who found himself at odds with his father. Viewers saw glimpses of tension between the two in later seasons of Sister Wives, especially during the height of the pandemic. Kody's strict COVID-19 rules caused deep divides within the family. While some of his wives and children accepted or at least tolerated the restrictions, others felt isolated, abandoned, and unsupported. For Garrison, who was a young adult building his independence, the strain became particularly overwhelming. He clashed with his father over what he felt was favoritism and inconsistency in how rules were enforced. In his recent admission, Kody acknowledged what many fans already suspected, that his relationship with Garrison was strained up until the very end. He admitted he could not repair the fractured bond, and now he must live with that painful reality. Saying that he couldn't make things right underscores not only his personal grief but also the ongoing consequences of the choices he made and how he navigated fatherhood and plural marriage. For fans, this statement brought up mixed emotions. On one hand, losing a child is one of the most devastating experiences a parent can face, and Kody's pain is undeniably real. On the other hand, many viewers cannot ignore the years of frustration they have expressed about how he seemed to distance himself from certain children while appearing to give more of his attention to Robyn and her kids. the perception of imbalance in his parenting has long been a sore point among fans, and his admission about Garrison only fueled ongoing discussions about accountability and regret. Janelle, Garrison's mother, has been vocal in her grief and candid about how her son's death has impacted her. Unlike Kody, she maintained a closer relationship with Garrison, often showing her support for his independence and career pursuits. She stood by her children during conflicts with Kody, even when it put her at odds with him. This has led fans to praise her for prioritizing her kids over marital harmony, a contrast that has only become more apparent in the aftermath of tragedy. Christine Brown, who left Kody before Garrison's passing, has also shared her sorrow and paid tribute to Garrison. The Brown family, despite its fractures, has come together in mourning, though the dynamics remain complicated. Many fans wonder whether this tragedy will lead to any lasting change in how Kody approaches his relationships with his other children. The admission that he could not reconcile with Garrison before his death is particularly haunting because it touches on a universal fear, leaving words unsaid and conflicts unresolved with loved ones. For those who have followed the Brown family since the beginning, the situation serves as a sobering reminder that reality television may capture drama and conflict, but at the heart of it are real people living real lives, facing real loss. Social media erupted in response to Kody's statement. Some fans expressed compassion, reminding others that grief is complicated and that no parent should ever have to bury their child. Others, however, were more critical, arguing that Kody's regrets should have prompted him to take accountability much earlier. Posts and comments flooded platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, with many pointing out how painful it was to watch Garrison's struggles on the show, knowing now how his story ended. Kody's words also sparked discussions about fatherhood and emotional responsibility. Viewers debated whether the pressures of maintaining multiple marriages had made it impossible for him to be equally present in his children's lives. Others argued that personal accountability should outweigh the demands of plural marriage, suggesting that choices about prioritization were at the core of Kody's fractured relationships. As Sister Wives continues, there is no doubt that the loss of Garrison will become a central focus of the storyline. TLC has already shown a willingness to address deeply personal issues on the show, from separations to health struggles, and Garrison's passing will likely be no different. For the Brown family, this tragedy could either deepen existing divides or encourage a renewed attempt at healing. For fans, it is a chance to reflect on the human cost behind the reality TV drama they have followed for years. What makes this admission so significant is that it peels back the image Kody has often tried to present. Throughout the series, he has frequently attempted to justify his decisions, often framing them as necessary for the good of the family. However, acknowledging that he could not repair things with Garrison reveals the limits of those justifications. It is a moment of vulnerability that contrasts sharply with the more defensive and sometimes combative persona fans have come to know. Ultimately, Kody Brown's words remind us that regret can be one of the heaviest burdens to carry. The inability to reconcile with his son before his death is a wound that will not heal easily, if at all. His admission resonates with viewers not only because of who he is but because it reflects a broader truth about the fragility of human relationships. As the Brown family moves forward, fans will be watching closely to see whether Kody makes efforts to strengthen his bonds with his remaining children or whether his patterns of estrangement continue. The legacy of Garrison's life and the heartbreak of his passing will remain a defining chapter in the Sister Wives story, and Kody's admission will linger as a reminder of the importance of making things right while there is still time. The tragedy has left many hoping that lessons will be learned, not just by Kody but by everyone who has witnessed this family's journey. In the end, Kody's confession is both an expression of grief and a cautionary tale.